Today is December 16, 2024. My name is Rob Carter of Kalamazoo Right to Life, and this is Pro-Life Week. Well, I have three things today. On December 13th, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, who is a really solid pro-lifer, he's filed a lawsuit against Dr. Margaret Daly Carpenter, who's part of the Abortion Coalition for Telemedicine in New York, for unlawfully mailing abortion drugs to a Texas woman. The pills killed her unborn child, but it also caused her to hemorrhage, and she required treatment at a local ER. For practicing without a license and mailing abortion drugs, Paxton has asked the court to penalize the abortionist, this Dr. Carpenter, $100,000 for each violation of the law. And this is what Paxton said in a press release. Quote, "In Texas, we treasure the health and lives of mothers and babies, and this is why out-of-state doctors may not illegally and dangerously prescribe abortion-inducing drugs to Texas residents," unquote. Okay, so here's a little bit of the backstory. The Texas Human Life Protection Act protects unborn children from abortion by surgical and chemical methods, except when medically necessary to prevent the loss of the mother's life or health. That law empowers the Texas Attorney General, Ken Paxton, to bring a lawsuit against violators for at least $100,000 per violation. Texas law further prohibits the distribution of abortion-inducing drugs through courier, delivery, or mail services, and telemedicine prescriptions from out-of-state doctors who do not possess a full Texas medical license. Okay, so this is an ongoing case, so that we're far from any kind of resolution. Okay, number two, President-elect Trump has nominated Pam Bondi to be the next Attorney General, replacing Matt Gaetz, who withdrew his name. And I mean, let's be honest or frank here. Matt Gaetz was not a good choice. He really was not. But Pam Bondi is an excellent choice. She served as Florida's Attorney General from 2011 to 2019. Recently, I saw a panel discussion, I think on CNN, not positive, but the liberal commentator said that she was far more dangerous than Gaetz because she was qualified. That tells you right there that she is going to be confirmed by the Senate. She will be. She is qualified. She is competent. She will make a great Attorney General. She is conservative. She's pro-life, and she will now lead the Department of Justice. I truly believe that the DOJ will no longer be pursuing pro-life activists who protest at abortion clinics the way that the Biden DOJ attacked and chased after pro-lifers, and in many cases have put them in prison. And they're still in prison today. I think I said last week that Trump needs to pardon these pro-lifers serving time in prison. He needs to do it on January 20th, on his first day of office. He needs to send a message to prosecutors all over the country that this is not going to stand. I think I mentioned last time that if these people were trespassing on a private property, okay, you arrest them, you charge them with trespassing, and you give them a fine. And that's it. You give them a fine. None of this jail time, none of this like that Mark Houck in Philadelphia who was arrested at 7 o'clock in the morning by 20 FBI agents terrorizing his wife and his 7 children. And then he was found not guilty by a jury in less than 1 hour. So the whole thing was trumped up. And time to put an end to this overreach by federal prosecutors trying to impose the FACE Act on pro-life advocates. And with Pam Bondi at the helm, this is not going to happen anymore. Okay, it's all over. FACE Act violations are over, and maybe she's going to start looking into some of the pro-abortion acts of violence directed toward churches and pregnancy care centers and pro-life offices, and vandalize those buildings. You know, when you're a pro-lifer and you're trespassing and you're sitting down on the floor and you're praying or you're singing, that is not violence. It may be a protest, but it's not violence. But if you go into a church and destroy statues or deface the building or stained glass windows or break property in a church, that is violence. Or if you break doors or put paint, can of paint on the walls of a pregnancy care center or write graffiti, that may not be violence per se, but it is an act of vandalism. Far more serious than sitting on the ground praying or singing. So maybe the DOJ may want to go after some of those people with a little bit more of an emphasis. Okay, last item. Governors in 3 states have defeated pro-abortion ballot amendments back in November, will be honored with the National Pro-Life Recognition Award at the National Prayer Service on Friday, January 24th in Washington, D.C. This 30th annual National Memorial for the Preborn and their mothers and fathers will take place at Constitution Hall in Washington. Now, these are the 3 governors. South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem, Nebraska Governor Jim Pillen, and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis will be honored during the interdenominational service held annually on the morning of the March for Life. Also recognized will be pro-life advocates in all 10 states who worked tirelessly to defeat pro-abortion ballot amendments, as well as those in Minnesota and Arkansas who successfully kept the amendments off the ballot. Quote, "No matter the outcome, the work that was done in these battles to educate and mobilize our fellow citizens has lasting value," said Priests for Life National Director Frank Pavone. Continue, "We will celebrate the victories and we will commit ourselves to undo the amendments that unfortunately did pass. They will not stand," unquote. Joining Priests for Life to co-sponsor the service this year are many organizations and influencers, including, here's our list, National Rights Life Committee, the National Institute of Family and Life Advocates, Population Research Institute, Faith and Freedom Coalition, Wall Builders, American Values, Douglas Leadership Institute, BOT Radio Network, Timothy Plan, American Principles Project, AFA Action, American Target Advertising, Mills Family Foundation, the Salt and Light Council, America's Frontline Doctors, and Mike Hill. Now, I'll be the first to admit that several of these organizations I was unaware of. So, I'm grateful and thankful that they're all pro-life, banding together to celebrate and honor these 3 governors and other citizens who tried to defeat these ballot initiatives last month. The service will be preceded at 7:30 a.m. by a Catholic Mass. Tickets are not required, and Constitution Hall can easily accommodate large groups. Sign up at the website nationalprayerservice.com to let us know you're coming or just show up that day. Now, This is from the Priest for Life Executive Director Janet Morena. Quote, "We hope everyone planning to attend the March for Life will start the day with us. Praying together is the most important thing we can do in the fight for life." So you have been duly informed of what's going on in Washington on January 24th, the March for Life, and this program beforehand at Constitution Hall. With that, I'll let you go, and I will see you next time.